Sometimes the most powerful lessons come from the simplest of stories. This one is about transformation, about the pressure to fit in, the courage to break free, and the incredible strength it takes to embrace your true self. It's an inspirational short story that might just remind you of someone you know, or maybe even yourself. Today, we'll follow Emma's journey, a girl with an extraordinary gift for understanding people, who lost her way trying to become someone she wasn't. But in her search for acceptance, she found something far greater, a lesson about authenticity and connection that changed her life forever. And here's the best part. At the end of the story, we'll share a hint about who it might be based on. You may just find out that Emma's story is closer to home than you think. Have you ever felt the pressure to fit in? To mold yourself into someone you're not just to be liked or accepted? It's something many of us face, especially during those turbulent teenage years. Today, we're diving into the story of Emma, a girl who mastered the art of fitting in, but discovered that true happiness comes from something much deeper. From the moment Emma was old enough to notice, she had a knack for understanding people. Empathy came naturally to her, and she often thought it might be her superpower. But in high school, that gift took on a different form. Instead of tuning into others' emotions to comfort or connect, she began studying people with a different goal, to become the kind of girl everyone liked. Emma devoured popular magazines, poring over every page for clues about how to transform herself into the perfect teenage girl. She studied the glossy images of carefree, smiling models, mimicking their hair, makeup, and fashion. She tried peroxide for her hair, followed by carefully applied mascara, and even put herself on a diet so strict it allowed only an apple a day. Designer clothes were out of reach, her parents were firm on that, but she made up for it by carefully curating her look with what she could afford. Her transformation wasn't just about appearances. Emma practiced smiling a little softer, giggling in a way that felt delicate and endearing, and making herself smaller in conversations so boys would feel bigger. She consciously toned down her natural energy, her bossy, loud, and opinionated personality, and cultivated a quieter, more agreeable persona. For the boys, it worked. They laughed at her jokes, seemed to like her more, and, most importantly, didn't find her annoying anymore. But the girls saw through it. They weren't as impressed with the act. Still, Emma persisted. This was a survival skill, she told herself. She believed the version of herself she'd created was real. By her senior year, she had perfected the balance. Pretty, fun, talented, but never stuck up. She had mastered the subtle tilt of her head during conversations and knew exactly when to laugh at someone else's joke. She felt triumphant. This was what winning high school looked like, wasn't it? But everything changed when Emma left for college. At her new school, a small liberal arts college full of sharp, independent-minded students, the social rules she had mastered in high school didn't seem to matter anymore. Without boys to impress, there weren't many around. Emma found herself surrounded by women who didn't care about her polished image. They laughed with her, not at her carefully rehearsed giggles, and didn't mind when she was goofy, opinionated, or even messy. For the first time in years, she felt free to be herself. One day, Emma realised she hadn't washed her hair in nearly 3 weeks. It didn't matter. Her friends still loved her, embracing her flaws and quirks without hesitation. It reminded her of the Velveteen Rabbit, a childhood story she'd long since outgrown. But now she understood its lesson. Love makes you real. As Emma looked back on those years, she felt a strange mix of nostalgia and clarity. High school had been an elaborate stage, and she'd played her role with precision. But the truth was, it had been a lonely kind of success. The real lesson wasn't in learning to perform, it was in learning to let go of the performance. She realised now that the greatest power wasn't in fitting into someone else's mould, but in fully embracing her own. Being liked might feel good for a moment, but being accepted for who she truly was, that was the kind of connection that lasted a lifetime. From this story, we learn that while adapting to social pressures can feel necessary in the moment, It's authenticity that ultimately leads to true connection and self-discovery. And just like a certain iconic actress celebrated for her unmatched talent in transforming into any role while staying deeply authentic, Emma's story reminds us that the greatest power lies in embracing your true self. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.